little village surrounded by green hills and colorful meadows, there lived a poor but kind-hearted farmer named Hassan. He lived alone in a small mud house and worked hard from dawn till dusk, tending to his tiny field. He had little, but he was always willing to share whatever he had with his neighbors. Despite his efforts, Hassan barely grew enough crops to feed himself. Yet he never complained. His heart was full of hope and kindness, and the villagers respected him for his honesty and helpful nature. One hot afternoon, while digging the soil behind his cottage to plant a few vegetable seeds, Hassan's shovel hit something hard. Curious, he knelt down and began clearing the dirt. To his surprise, he uncovered a strange-looking clay pot, large and round, with golden carvings curling around its rim. The pot shimmered slightly in the sunlight, almost like it had a life of its own. "This looks ancient," Hassan murmured, brushing dust from its surface. Maybe it belonged to a king. He lifted the pot and placed it on his table inside. Without thinking much, he dropped a red apple into the pot to keep it safe. To his amazement, another apple popped out. Hassan stared in disbelief. Did the pot just double the apple? To test it again, he dropped a coin inside, and immediately 2 coins lay in the pot. Then a piece of bread, and out came 2. "It's a magic pot," Hassan whispered, eyes wide with wonder. At first, he used the pot wisely. He doubled his food and shared it with the hungry. He used it to give extra coins to the poor and warm clothes to children who had none. The villagers were overjoyed and grateful. They began calling him the generous farmer. Under Hassan's kindness, the village flourished. People helped each other more. No one went to bed hungry. Hassan's heart felt full every time he saw a smile on someone's face because of the pot. But slowly, a small whisper crept into his mind, a voice of greed. What if I use the pot only for myself? Hassan thought. I could become the richest man in the kingdom. From that day, Hassan stopped sharing. He told the villagers the pot had stopped working. Then, he locked it away inside a wooden chest and kept it hidden. Day and night, he placed gold coins, jewels, and rich silk into it, and the pot doubled everything. His home, once simple and plain, was now filled with sparkling treasures. Hassan wore fancy robes, ate fine meals, and slept on soft velvet cushions. But something strange began to happen. Even though he had everything he could wish for, Hassan felt empty inside. He grew fearful and suspicious. He was always afraid someone might steal the pot. He stopped smiling, stopped sleeping peacefully, and avoided his old friends. One cold night, Hassan had a dream. In it, he saw an old woman dressed in flowing white robes. Her eyes were kind, and her voice was soft like a breeze. She said, "The pot is not meant for greed, but for giving. Fill it with love, and it will bring joy. Fill it with greed, and it will bring sorrow." Hassan woke up in the middle of the night, sweating. He looked around at his gold-covered room. It all felt heavy, meaningless. He sat quietly until sunrise, thinking about the woman's words. At last, he stood up, opened the chest, and lifted the magic pot into his arms. "This doesn't belong to me alone," he said softly. "It belongs to everyone." The next morning, Hassan stood in the village square with the pot. The villagers gathered around, curious. "This pot," Hassan said, "is a gift, and it is meant to be shared. From now on, it will be used for the good of all." He used it to make food for the hungry, warm clothes for the cold, and even books and supplies for the village school. People smiled, laughed, and sang again. They worked together, shared meals, and helped one another. The village soon became known far and wide as a place of happiness, generosity, and harmony. And though the pot continued to work its magic, the real magic was found in the hearts of the people, in their kindness, unity, and love. As for Hassan, he returned to his simple life, but he was no longer lonely or poor. He was surrounded by friends, joy, and peace. And every time someone asked about the pot, he would smile and say, "It only works when your heart is in the right place." Moral of the story: greed can turn a blessing into a curse, but kindness and sharing bring true happiness.